Most of us are not exposed to these images and sounds every day. However, there are some Americans who are. I'm Meshad, and this is After the Showdown.
From my perspective, no one is ever ready for war, but if it takes place, you have to make that adjustment.
Every day I went out there and I was like, I hope the sons of bitches come out to fight today, because I feel froggy, because I feel like today's a good day to send them, to go meet Allah and find out there isn't 70 virgins waiting for them, yeah.
So Eric, you and Freddie talked about how the events of 9/11 had an impact on your feelings toward the enemy. Eric, you in Afghanistan, and Freddie, you in Iraq.
Without a doubt, my guys are like, you bastards hit us, now we're here to take you apart.
Revenge is definitely a factor, definitely.
We wanted Osama's head.
When 9/11 happened, hell yeah, that pissed me off. I mean, shit, you got a 16-year-old, American here whose parents came to this country for a better life, grew up thinking about, okay, this country's here because of the veteran. And right then and there, I wanted to get done with school because I was still in high school. I wanted to get done with school, enlist, and go to combat.
Now, when you say, yeah, you were angry you angry at a group of people? Or were you simply angry that this could happen? How can this happen to us, knowing who we are, being United States?
No, I wasn't mad at anybody in particular. I was just going, there are people who hate us enough to come here to hurt us.
What these rap groups are is a way for veterans, combat veterans specifically, to communicate and share their stories in a setting that's comfortable to them, meaning they don't have to explain graphic details, or they don't have to feel uncomfortable explaining graphic details of combat in a setting like this.
Yeah, I chose to want to, fit in with the crowd, and I wanted to get into fights, and, hey, let's have a brawl at a party. Well, let's get into the fight at the party. I remember coming home with blood vessels busted in my eye, kick to the side of the head where my freaking skull looked uneven, looked like a puzzle. So yeah, you could say I had a pretty violent childhood.
All that violence and hate, did you want to express it upon entering into the military, knowing that it was a potential opportunity to go to war? Were you somewhat prepared, semi-prepared, just in case something click off, and then you would say, oh yeah, now I got the chance to do this because I feel all this inside.
This violence that I was aware of, that I knew I had in me, and plus to add it on with that I was trained, so now I have self-control over it. That's the big difference.
But when you go into the military, you become trained. They instill that discipline into you, so your mind starts maturing more and starts developing more into the mindset of a soldier.
It seem like you was a loose cannon, like you were out of control, because I know that it's very structured and organized. Right.
So you are signing a blank check. You are signing a blank check in the amount of your life when you go over there. Nowadays, people enlist. It's like you're enlisting in a time of war. I'm gonna enlist. Your president. We might withdraw our troops. Bottom line is the troops are there right now. A lot of people don't understand that, and I realize that now. They don't understand that they're making a check out to the United States government saying, hey, look, in the amount of my life, if you need it, cash it in, but I'm on my way over there. A lot of people don't understand that.
How can the public not understand that?
Hey, you don't need this from me, but for what it's worth, I salute you guys. You enlisted. You were a volunteer army. You went over there. You made a commitment, to yourselves, to the country, to the guys next to you, and you did the dirty work for the rest of us. Things in Vietnam were a little different. You guys seem better trained. You guys. I salute you.
I mean, you being a Vietnam vet, when you got back from Vietnam, did anyone salute you?
No. That was a very tough time. There was a big movement going on in this country. People were asking questions. Guys who'd been there were asking questions. I was asking questions. Nobody was proud of it. It was thought of as this is the first war we've lost, and somehow we were less American because we hadn't had this big victory. Well, it wasn't that easy, And then some of the guys, they did some things, and they lost it over there. And no matter how justified they may have thought they were at the time, they went beyond the pale. They did things that were wrong, and we all got branded with that brush.
You don't have to apologize for shit, man. No one knows what it was like over there. No one but you and the guys you served with. No, you can look at everybody and say, baby killer this, baby killer that. Fuck that. They don't know what it was like. They don't know freaking that 9 times out of 10 they hide freaking RPG rounds underneath the baby. They don't know that shit. They don't want to tell you that. That they teach kids over there at the age of 5 to walk up to you with the grenade. They don't teach you. They don't go out. Don't apologize for shit.
What you've just seen is a combat vet therapy group. The mediator opened the session up where you get to hear what these men are dealing with, both in combat and particularly returning home. The transition process is the thing that really stands out. Regardless of how well these men think they're doing now, there are things that they are processing, things that they are trying to let go, things that they are trying to move beyond. They're now civilians. They are now reintegrating into society, and a lot of the things that they use to survive and to exercise combat are not necessary in most cases back as a civilian. It's very important that these men continue, particularly the first few years back in these group sessions, in order for them to process, think, and move on with their lives.
Once you've talked with combat veterans, you begin to hear about things many of us have never considered. I spoke with a gentleman named Rick Seaman, who's the co-founder of the Veterans Network. Rick was a combat infantryman in Vietnam in 1968 and 69.
A young man in a combat zone has one primary job, one mission, and that is to kill the enemy. But there's no real rules or regulations or guidelines that say how violently he should do that, or how violently he should not do that. So here he is, he's there for months and months and months committing violent acts. And then all of a sudden, they say, you're done. You're out of the military. You're going home. No more. Turn it off. Stop.
Oh!